Sky Squad, we are back in the building and we gotta actually get into the details of last night's the nightcap with Carlos King with the Real Housewives of Atlanta season one OGs minus Nene leaks. Okay. So this was a very, very interesting episode, specifically when it came down to Nene's lawsuit and some things that Lisa Wu had to say as well as some things that Sheree said about Prison Bay. Okay, so we're gonna get into all of that. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell button, join the texting community, and I will add you to the list so you'll get a notification every time a new video drops. And I do apologize right now because I'm a little hoarse. Okay, so just bear with me. Okay. So first things first, Carlos King doing the doggone thing, getting these OGs to come back on the show. And apparently the OGs did not know that they were all going to be on together. Okay. Lisa Wu comes out first, and then Deshaun Snow comes out looking real good. Okay. And if you've been following Deshaun Snow for a while, you would have known that she ended up losing a lot of weight. And she attributes that to wanting to get the inside right and then wanting to get the outside of her persona right after all of the things that she had been through, particularly after her divorce. Kim comes sauntering out with her red solo cup. Yes, Miss Kim Zodiac Bierman has not changed at all. Okay. And then Sheree comes out last. He addresses Nene being missing right off the jump. He said Nene wanted to be there and sends her well wishes and that she's dealing with some stuff, as we all know. So I would probably wager that it was probably against it would have been against her counsel's advice to actually go and do the show. So I think that that probably was the case. I know that I'm not even a lawyer, but I've been watching The Lincoln Lawyer, okay? And that show is good. I don't know if y'all seen it on Netflix. That show is good, okay? Do yourself a favor, watch it tonight. Anyway, if I were her lawyer, I would advise her to not go on any talk show circuit or, really speak on the lawsuit in great detail because the litigation is ongoing. And so what she doesn't want to do is, say anything that might show more of her hand in this situation. And I think it would be a really complex situation to do, given that Kim Zodiac was going to be there and Kim Zodiac was listed in the lawsuit as an example of the alleged racism that she experienced while she was at Bravo. So Carlos does have a cardboard cutout of Nene that he brings out. So it's like she's there in spirit. Okay. But I'll get to that in a minute. Anyway, he relives Real Housewives of Atlanta being his first production. Deshaun says that her life is completely different now. She's lost a lot of weight, but she doesn't really go into all of the details of what's happened. I just think that if you know anything about her story, you kind of know that she did experience a pretty wild divorce. I wish that we could have gotten a little bit more intel from her. But interestingly enough, I just don't think that even though Deshaun at this point in time has a great look, I don't know that she has the TV personality for reality television. And so it's really not a shock to me that they didn't bring her back for the next season. But she is a beautiful woman. She just, I feel like, has a hard time articulating herself in the way that the other ladies do. But also, too, the other ladies have had a lot more experience with reality TV. But that was just something that I kind of noticed. She got tongue tied quite a bit last night. Lisa Wu reveals that she's got a lot of projects going on and that she and Sheree have something coming out together, but she would not go into the details of what. And so I'm wondering if we're going to see that actually come to fruition on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, because we had heard that Sheree had brought Lisa Wu back to the fold for some filming events. Kim talks about all her kids and that Corey got a vasectomy. Sheree is back on Real Housewives of Atlanta, making history being back on the show for the third time. She says that she wanted the show, if she came back, she wanted the show to get back to the glitz and glam from when they first started on the show. And she's happy about where it is at this point in time. Now, here's something that was very interesting. Carlos King asked this question. He said, and it was sort of like a game that he wanted people to respond to. And I think that this was a very interesting question because I think it's very telling of what's happening in the background. So he said if he created a Love and Marriage Atlanta spinoff, which one of the ladies would we want to see on the show? So to me, that was very interesting and very telling because, a lot of us have been making suggestions that Nene Leakes be in the running for this type of show, along with Mariah Hook, because they have the experience from reality TV and people want them back on their screens. But in terms of the ladies that are on the show now, I mean, obviously Sheree can't do it because she's on Real Housewives of Atlanta. I could not tell whether or not Deshaun or Lisa Wu are in serious relationships. And I don't think that he would put Kim Zolciak on a Love and Marriage Atlanta show. I just don't see that happening, but I could be wrong. Okay. So let me know what you guys thought about that. To me, that tells me that Love and Marriage Atlanta is coming sooner rather than later. And I wouldn't be surprised if we started really hearing something about it closer towards the end of the year. But that's just my thoughts. Okay. Allegedly. All right. So Carlos plays a clip of Monique and Winter's conversation from Love and Marriage DC, which we will discuss in a different video later on today. And Carlos asks if anyone has dated a scammer. Sheree says this. This is where things get really, really interesting. She says she's dated a scammer. She didn't know he was a scammer. The guy that she was dating when he was in prison. She says that was a scam. She got scammed. So from it sounds like to me from Sheree, we're getting this notion that she feels like she was scammed by Tyrone with what Candy Talk called, was it jail talk or was it prison talk? Wherein, the person in prison or jail, sweet talks the other person into staying in a situation with them. And then when they get out, the situation is all types of crazy different. So anyway, she is letting us know that she feels like that whole situation was a scam. Let me know down in the chatterization if you guys feel like he scammed her or not. Because at this point in time, I was kind of wondering, like, well, did she get back together with him? Because I felt like we had heard about him possibly, filming at the end of the season. I really don't know. It was very interesting to say the least. If you guys have any notion of what that situation really is in present day, let us know in the chatterization down below. But she does say that she got scammed by the person that she was dating when he was in prison. And as far as I know, she says that was the only time that she felt like she was scammed. So unless there was another prison bay, I would have to assume that she's talking about Tyrone, allegedly. Okay. So then they get into Nene's lawsuit against Bravo, Truly Original, NBC Universal, and Andy Cohen. And Kim's response is that Nene knows what she's saying is not true about her being, exhibiting problematic behavior. So she says she'll deal with her when Nene is done with them. She says you can't say things that aren't true and defame someone. So then, interestingly, Sheree chimes in and brings up that weren't they just on stage together? And then Lisa chimes in and says, we all saw it. We all saw Kim and Nene on stage together, at some, I don't know if it was a women's expo or something like that. I think towards the end of last year, maybe like November. Um, and so Lisa Wu was really annoyed with this whole situation. Kim says, we never know who we're going to get, if Nene's going to be mad or not when they see them. And Marlo kind of echoed the same sentiment about her. It just kind of feels like there's a little bit of, I don't know, like the way they describe this relationship with Nene. And listen, I love Nene Leakes and I love her because she makes for great television and she's the OG of it all, in terms of what we know reality TV to be in present day. But the way they make it sound like really a toxic relationship that they have with this woman. So it's very interesting to hear them all kind of speak about her. And so Lisa is like, well, what do you mean by that? She asked Kim. And then Kim says, I never know if she's going to be nice. And she feels bad for Nene. So Carlos asks what the rest of them think. And here is where Lisa Wu comes in. And you can see it in her eyes and in her face, and you can hear it in her voice. She was like, keep this ish real. When asked about who Nene wanted to come back to the show, she never said Lisa Wu. She always said Kim Zolciak. And I'm bothered by that. She would always want Kim back. And so Carlos had to interpret. He was like, so you're saying if she has such an issue with Kim, then why would she keep recommending Kim to come back to Real Housewives of Atlanta? And then Kim Zolciak is like, well, she still follows me on Instagram, so she isn't that mad. Lisa's like, we don't care about that. Let's talk about the real issue. And you could just see it in her face and in her demeanor, hear it in her voice. She was mad about that thing. Okay. The fact that, Nene was never recommending her, she was always recommending Kim, and now has the nerve to put Kim in a lawsuit for which she is the basis or of claims of problematic behavior by the network, and that Kim exhibited problematic behavior. Why would you keep recommending this woman to come back if you know that she's so problematic? Which is a question that a lot of people have been asking. So that was really the big tea from Carlos King's The Nightcap with Carlos King. It was very interesting to see the ladies react and respond to the lawsuit that Nene Leakes has against Bravo at this point in time, and to see how it was very interesting. You guys have to watch it for yourself to kind of see the level of uncomfortability and the level of um annoyance by Lisa Wu at that, especially when she went in. I mean, her whole voice and demeanor changed when she was talking about this. So it was really, really, really interesting. And at this point in time, for me, would love to see Lisa Wu back on our television screens. I think that she has been through some things in life, and I think she's got some life experience under her. And I think that at this point in time, I think she would make for a really good, interesting reality TV personality. So I'm definitely here for her coming back, either to Love and Marriage Atlanta, or a potential Love and Marriage Atlanta, or back to Housewives in some way, shape, or form, because I think that would be truly interesting. Anyway, that's it for this recap of the Nightcap with Carlos King with the Real Housewives of Atlanta OGs minus Nene. And let me know what you guys think about it in the chatterization down below if you happen to catch it, or what your thoughts are based on what I've told you right now. With that being said, I will catch you guys in